Time tracking is really straightforward as an assignment. You're going to track your time. Using the template, your sketchbook, or your own calendar, keep track of how you spend your time. Broad categories are fine. Just list class or work, but do pay special attention to your art-related activities. In your studio class, pay attention to how long you're spending on different parts of the project. We want to use that information later. I'm also asking you to keep track of your tools. You're going to turn in 1 week's worth of tool tracking, but do keep going. For other parts of the strategic planning assignment, you're going to want a more exhaustive list of the different kinds of equipment and tools and supplies that you use. Just make a quick note every time you use something, or look back at the end of the studio session when you're cleaning up and make a quick list then. You want to differentiate between the things that you own and whether or not they're consumables or durable goods that are going to last a while. If you have studio equipment of your own, or if you're using material that CSU provides. Also, think about other resources or other supplies that you would like to have. After you've turned in your time tracking, we'll have follow-up assignments. We're going to borrow an idea from this book, Clockwork Muse, to help us define an ideal schedule. The big insight of this book is that we should pay attention to when we are mentally sharp. Certain times of day, you're more alert, more with it as an artist. You want to reserve those times for studio practice. Your day job can have your B time or your C time, those areas where you're not as mentally engaged. If you investigate your time tracking, you'll find that you have a natural rhythm. Maybe it's always bugged you that your morning class is a morning class, not just because you want to sleep late, but because you do your best work at night. Knowing that is an important part of building a post-graduation studio practice. When would you make most use of whatever time you can scrape together? While you're analyzing your time tracking, you also want to figure out how long it takes you to do certain art projects. Perhaps you'll get a commission in the future, and you want an idea of how long it actually takes you. Once you've figured out how long it takes you to make a drawing, painting, photograph, sculpture, you want to take that time and double it in any proposal that you're putting together. Just assume it's going to take twice as long as you think it should, and then you'll be on the safe side. So go ahead and look at your studio practice. How long does it take you to do different kinds of elements? You get to define your own standard unit of whatever art time is. Perhaps it's one drawing, perhaps it's one sculpture, perhaps it's a group of work. But think about how much time you spend getting that task completed. One really simple idea I've stolen from Brainerd Carey, though it shows up in a number of places, is essentially to give yourself homework. Write down, and actually write down, 3 things you're going to do in the studio the next day. Writing them down gives you an opportunity to 1, not be able to fudge it after the fact, and 2, cross that out when you're done. Another technique that actually you could incorporate with the writing the 3 goals down is to give yourself a bookmark whenever you're working on a project that takes more than 1 session, to give yourself a clear indication of where it is that you need to pick up tomorrow. We've all had that experience of needing to reacclimate to the studio, where it takes us a little bit of time to get going again. Bookmarking and giving yourself specific tasks can cut down on that wasted time. This is going to be really important once you've graduated, and you might only have a half an hour to get into the studio.